What's up, everybody? Michael Chase here, and the Liga Endesa is back on NLSE. This will be the second straight season that the Liga Endesa will air on our airwaves. And if you haven't been keeping up per se, we've been doing the same type of preview video for our other international leagues as well. Make sure to check those out. Without any further ado, let's get right into the Liga Endesa preview. Now first, let's start with some of the Liga Endesa rules, specifically when it comes to the roster. You're allowed any number of American players to be on any roster in the Liga Endesa, but the catch is you're only allowed to have 6 non-Spanish players active per game day. So that leads to a lot of theoretical strategies that teams have to go through preparing for such games. Now specifically, when it comes to relegation and promotion, you have the 2 top teams from the lower tier league that get promoted to the upper tier league in the Liga Endesa. Meanwhile, on the relegation side, the 2 worst records of the Liga Endesa from that past season get relegated to the lower tier league for the following year. Now also, when it comes to their playoff format across their 3 rounds, in the first round they play 3 games, while in their semifinals and ultimately their finals, they play 5 games for those playoff series. And then I would be remiss if I didn't mention this fun fact. The Liga Endesa, across its 40-year history, has had 52 different clubs a part of their league. That's a pretty impressive number, certainly. Now let's talk a little bit about what happened last season in the Liga Endesa. And I would be remiss if I didn't start ultimately with the team that comes in as the reigning champions of the league in Real Madrid. This is because they defeated Murcia in 4 games in the Liga Endesa finals last season to claim their 37th title in club history, and not to mention their 2nd in the last 3 years. And also, to talk about some of the other teams, you had Murcia, who finished as the runner-ups in the Liga Endesa championship final, and they finished 5th in the league last year, coming completely out of nowhere to be one of the best teams in the league this past season. On top of that, it was Unicaja who finished atop the ACB. Who would have thought, with teams like Real Madrid and Barcelona in there, that they would be the ones taking the crown in the regular season? Of the 18 teams in the league last year, half the league finished above 500, which certainly improved from the prior seasons before. And then lastly, as one fun fact for this section of our preview, how about the fact that 3 of the top 5 scorers in the ACB last year were all Americans, with Kyle Guy, Marcus Howard, and Jared Harding pacing the way as some of the top scorers in all the league. Now let's jump into some of the key players. There are several players across the league that are certainly worth keeping an eye on. Everyone from a reigning MVP to a few of the top scorers coming back looking for a repeat. Now we first begin with Marcus Howard, who led the ACB in scoring last year at 19.4 a game. Now going into his 2nd season with Baskonia, can he repeat this scoring rate and lead Baskonia back to the postseason? We'll have to find out. You also have Facundo Campazzo, who returns to Real Madrid looking to win another title and build off his 2023-2024 MVP campaign. We'll see if he could also finish top 5 in assists and steals as well this coming year. We'll also be looking forward to another healthy season of Jabari Parker for a very talented Barcelona club, as he'll be looking to build off of 12.4 points and 3.2 rebound averages from last season. Then to round it all up, how about Kendrick Perry and Cameron Taylor, the dynamic duo of the Unicaja backcourt, who will look to once again have their club atop the ACB once again. They certainly will have a ton of confidence as well, being the fact that they spearheaded their team to this year's Supercopa title. Now viewers should also get accustomed to constant player movement in these international leagues. And speaking of that, we had a bunch of talented players who've all across the landscape in the ACB. Let's talk about a few of them that you should keep your eye on. Firstly, you have point guard Charlie Moore, who finished 3rd in scoring and 5th in assists in the Serie A last season, and now will be bringing his talents to Rio Brijon. You also have guard Kamar Baldwin, who will be one of the newest additions to a Baskonia squad, following a solid season last year in the Serie A as well with Trentino. And then Real Madrid kept some of their former players around, including frontcourt contributor Mario Hezonja, who returns for yet another season. And then finally, Valencia certainly beefed up their frontcourt, signing center Matthew Costello as well as forward Ethan Happ to help them on the front line. Now I don't know about you, but I am certainly excited to follow another great season of Liga Endesa action. From a ton of talented players across the league looking to make an impact, to several clubs having the opportunity to take home the ACB title. There's no telling what's going to happen, so you make sure you check all your local listings and follow us on all our social medias at NLSE TV for your home for Liga Endesa ACB action.